The inflation number just came out for February, and inflation is going down. Well, what do we have here? I wonder how Trump haters are going to spin it to blame him for an improving economy, which is going to sort of assuage the histrionics that are going on about the stock market, and Trump is destroying the entire economy, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and Elon Musk has a sledgehammer and a chainsaw. Good golly. Let's check in on CNN, see how they're handling the news.
Finally, we have some good news on the economy and really the number one issue for many Americans, the cost of living. So we just learned that consumer prices in February increased by 2.8% year over year, 0.2% month over month. Both of these figures were a step in the right direction, and both were better than expected. So this is definitely very encouraging to see, because it's going to, I think, relieve some fears that inflation was perhaps re-accelerating, because this actually breaks a streak of 4 straight months where I think you could see it on the chart all the way to the right, where the inflation rate was going in the wrong direction, right? It was going higher and higher. Finally, we're seeing it dip.
What are they going to say? Well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, they'll say. I hate that Donald Trump so much. If the man walked on water, it's only because he's too stupid to know how to swim. Had a great, meaningful dialogue with my cousin Paul. He's one of my favorite people in the world. My cousin Paul is a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, and has got a heart the size of America. He's got a wildly wonderful side of him that you would love. You wouldn't like his politics, but man, is he a great guy. And he and I talked for about an hour last night. He hates, what's going on in the country with Trump and Republicans, and people are dying from USAID, having their, aid withheld. Trump's corrupt. The typical usual talking points, although he does listen to me and I make my case and he makes his case. And I hung up last night thinking, this is the way it always ought to be. This is the way it should go. We can disagree without blowing each other up. Teslas are being vandalized. Tesla dealerships are being attacked. Just for the heck of it, I asked a Tesla dealership near where I live, are you getting any fallout from the controversy with Elon Musk and Doge? The lady said, we get 100 calls a day from crazy people saying they're going to blow the building up, they're going to destroy the Teslas. I mean, and now conservatives are buying Teslas, including Donald Trump. He's on the White House lawn yesterday. He picked one out, bought it. He said, I don't want a discount. I'm going to write him a check. He picked out a bright red Tesla. And, Elon Musk's role in all of this is what confounds the left, because they don't understand how a private citizen has such an outsized role in the government. And look, I'm the first to admit it's unconventional. Everything about Trump is unconventional. So he's reached out to a smart guy to help clean up wasteful spending and save the taxpayers' money, maybe balance our budget and stop the goofy, crazy spending. So what did the left do when Trump boosted Tesla and Elon on the White House lawn yesterday? Well, they lost their minds. Let's stick with CNN for a moment and check out the great Scott Jennings and his take on Abby Phillips, who was pushing back mightily on the idea that there would be a selection of cars on the White House lawn, that the President of the United States buys one of them. And, of course, the CNN panel was flipping out until the voice of reason came along, our friend Scott Jennings.
Look, Teslas, they're cool cars, but the president is clearly trying to do his friend, political donor, actually government employee, a pretty big favor here for his private business.
It's hardly the first time we've had cars on the South Lawn. Man, there's video of Joe Biden driving a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn. I mean, it's pretty common.
And President Trump did it before in his first term as well.
It's pretty common for the President of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products. and companies that are, employing Americans. It's extremely common. He obviously has a close relationship with Elon, who, by the way, is, I think, unfairly under attack. And this company is unfairly under attack. You have these insane people all over the country chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York the other day, and there were protesters screaming at his children.
Look,
these people are unhinged,
there is some
and they deserve support from the government.
But let's be clear, let's not skirt over the fact that Elon Musk spent $250 million to elect Donald Trump.
So you're against an American company?
No, I'm not.
You don't want the government to support this?
Isn't that amazing? Well, Elon Musk, and yesterday, $100 million pledged by Elon Musk to Trump's PAC. And that is what makes them crazed. Now, if he was Ben and Jerry, and he was donating $100 million out of the Ben and Jerry coffers, they'd consider that a home run. They'd consider that a grand slam. But and that's the only reason they hate Elon Musk. They used to love Elon Musk. They loved EVs, and they used to love the concept of government efficiency. We went into the archives. We found a couple of clips from people you might recognize. I have to admit that I like Bernie Sanders in spite of myself. I do. He's the real deal. He's an old hippie, He's a hippie from Vermont, and he's a socialist. But he is who he is. I don't think there's a hidden agenda with Bernie Sanders. Frankly, Bernie Sanders, to me, is one of the most authentic leftists in America. He doesn't just go into he is who he is. Well, let's go back to who he was in 2008.
There is no question that there is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government. There is no question to my mind that Congress has not been vigilant enough in rooting out that waste and fraud to the tune of billions and billions of dollars. I would simply say that while it is absolutely appropriate to condemn the Congress, it is also important to note that we have an administration in this city, in Washington, D.C., and the function of an administration is to administer. And that means that when there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
Oh, well, Bernie, it may have taken a while, but we gave you one. You wanted an administration that deals with waste and fraud? We found one. It's called the Trump administration. It's here. Meanwhile, Bernie today says he's living through the scariest period of his life as an American. He's scared. He's fearful of Trump's slashing waste and fraud. Hey, back when it was cool, Bernie, in 2008, you didn't like waste and fraud. Let me give you another star of the Democrat Party, the one and only Nancy Pelosi. Let's hear what she used to say about government waste, fraud, and abuse in 2010.
We cannot keep our promises on Medicare. We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare so that the benefits and the premiums are untouched. We owe it to our seniors. We owe it to our country.
Oh, okay. Well, we gave it to you, Nancy. We elected Donald Trump twice. And the second time around, he ain't playing games. He's not playing footsie anymore. He is pedal to the metal. And not everybody likes that. Isn't it fascinating? Just look at the electric vehicle thing. A year ago, you couldn't avoid being lectured by Democrats about how important it is for electric vehicles to save the planet. You ever driven a Tesla? You ever driven a Tesla? Do you know what a Tesla is like? Let me tell you something. You'll never have more fun driving a car in your life. People are scared by the full-service driving. Oh, my gosh. It's the coolest thing in the world. You are in your parking space in Tampa, Florida, and you say you want to go to Disney World in Orlando, in an hour and a half away, you push the full-service drive button, you pump the brake, and you're at your parking place. The car backs out of the parking place and proceeds to get onto the highway, goes to 275, goes to I-4, and will take you all the way to the Magic Kingdom. You don't touch anything. You don't put your hand on the steering wheel. You don't touch the screen, fun to navigate. The car's a blast. I've driven Teslas. Trump bought one yesterday. Sean Hannity bought one yesterday. You know what's great about Tesla? American made. There are some parts made in China. It is an overwhelmingly American product. And instead of thanking Elon Musk, the Henry Ford of our lifetime, they want to kill him. He has to have a army of bodyguards because he's become despised. Why? It's real simple. Because he used to be one of them. That's the kind of American the left hates. If you used to be one of them and you go to the other side, he went over to the dark side, he's helping Trump cut waste and fraud. Now he's the devil. So what is it? What are we waiting for? What are we looking to do here? How about cut waste and fraud? And how about the great news on the economy and inflation actually declining? I thought Trump was wrecking the economy. My gosh. Happy Wednesday. We're in the Relief Factor studios. It's the Mike Gallagher Show, and we are so glad you're with us. 800-655-MIKE, 800-655-6453. One phone call does it all. You don't want to come on air with us? You don't have to. You can text us on the MyPillow text line, which is 800-655-MIKE. I mean, which is it? Do Democrats want to get rid of waste and fraud, or do they? Were they talking a big game in years past? And now that Trump's the one doing it, they don't want to get rid of waste and fraud? What are they so angry about? Help me understand it. 1-800-655-MIKE.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.